From across the comic book community multiverse, the Comic-Con podcast begins now with your hosts, Justin, aka Nemesis Prime.
If you give them the title of influencer, then that's giving them more power, right? That's how it is. Like, I'm a nobody. Listen, I'm a nobody.
Zach, aka the Manimal.
We talked about it for a full, I believe, 7 to 8 minutes on an hour-long normal podcast for a show. And you would have thought we set their house on fire with the backlash. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Comic-Con Podcast, Season 3, Episode 7. We are recording today on February 15th, doing a little early show this week, and I'm going to do a little quick show, give you guys a little quickie. You know how we like to do because, one, Justin's feeling a little icky, and we're going to go see Ant-Man tomorrow. So, quick episode, we're in and out, and we're going to get talking. Justin, what's up?
Yeah, everybody. I have the COVID.
You look like the sick Red Hood when you put your shirt over your face like that. Like the new iteration of Red Hood, the crappy one you don't like.
Terrible, bro. Anyway, happy Chiefs making the Super Bowl win.
Dude, yeah, shit. Are we talking about it? Oh man.
Yeah, we didn't. It was weird. We didn't talk about it last week. I didn't say like good luck or anything. I literally texted you right as soon as the game ended. I said, "Congrats, you lucky fuck," or something.
I was pretty nervous.
I turned it off at halftime. So.
It was nerve-wracking. I didn't eat really much at all during the game at all. And yeah, I mean, we pulled it off. Could have been prettier. It was a little ugly. Eagles were a good team, gave us a run for the money, but took the victory home, the W, and see what happens next year, man. But super happy. I think I'm losing years off my life though. Every time the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl, like how much anxiety and like stress I have.
Yeah, I get that too. Like, well, it's weird. It's like I haven't had a team like be in the finals or playoffs like that in any sport in like forever. Like, I think the last time was like realistically was like when Italy won the World Cup in 2006 and they won the Euro maybe like 4 years ago, which I said to myself, I was like, they're not going to win it. So like if I'm in that mentality, and I'm like, oh, they keep winning, and I'm like, all right, but they're going to lose, whatever. But like, normal like NBA, NFL. I'm just never I'm never into it. I don't have that team, but I do get stressed out when I want a certain team to win. So I get that feeling, but I guess having a team in there is like 100 times worse.
Yeah. I mean, my family, I'm originally from Kansas City. All my family's from Kansas City. So any Kansas City team is my team. And I was pretty young when the Royals were like the George Brett era of the Royals. I was pretty young. So, I mean, obviously that was probably good until like 2014, 2015, when the Royals went to the World Series. And I flew back to Kansas City for both those World Series, one game each time. And same thing. I mean, let's just say this, being a Kansas City fan it hasn't been until recently with like both the Royals and the Chiefs that it's been like good to be a Kansas 100%. City fan. So I hear it and I get it that everyone's like, I hear a lot from friends, like how sick they are of the Chiefs and Mahomes and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you're sick of it because in 5 years, but I've had 38 years of life where this shit's been like painful. So let me enjoy it a little longer.
Yeah. And imagine and here's the difference. Like for me, it's like been on the East Coast and I've heard nothing but like Brady, even though like most fans are Giants fans or Eagles fans, but it's still, and some people obviously are Jets, but that's all you hear is Brady. You've always heard Brady over the past like 20 years. So
yeah. But yeah, no, congratulations to Kansas City Chiefs.
Nice
job.
Was
awesome. Yeah, we really liked it. So anyway, just so you guys know, we actually turned into, this is now the Sports Com podcast. That's all we're going to talk about from now on. But we did have to talk about the Super Bowl because some comic book stuff happened during the Super Bowl. So we got a couple longer trailers. We'd seen some trailers before, but some final trailers for a couple movies during the Super Bowl. We got the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer, and we also got the Flash trailer, which seems to kind of really be getting everyone spun up. So we'll save that one for last. And we kind of want to talk about the Guardians trailer. So Justin, or you know what? I'll start off Guardians because I know you want to talk a lot about the Flash. So, okay. So Guardians 3 trailer, really good. It was different take. I feel like the last trailer we saw was a lot more sad. Yes. Like the previous one to this was very depressing. And you're like, oh my God, seems like everyone in the show is going to die. This one was definitely leaned a little bit heavier into the comedy that we know and love with Guardians. You got a bunch of scenes with Batista and Drax kind of being typical Drax, leaning into the comedy stuff there. But a lot more action scenes. We got a lot more. I felt like we got a lot more high evolutionary
Mhm.
in this trailer. Um, Still, we haven't been given. I feel like the last trailer we got one scene with Adam Warlock, and then we got the one where he's flying in this one. So we really haven't seen a ton of Adam Warlock. But I mean, I'm excited for this movie. What did you think? What was your initial take on it?
Yeah, it's good to see Gamora because that was kind of like a
Right.
up in the air thing. We get to see her kind of back and forth, even though it's a different Gamora. Like you said,
And-
High
yeah.
Evolutionary was pretty interesting. You get obviously a lot more of the stuff that's going on with Rocket and like his past and his friend, the
Mhm.
Otter. Obviously they have that more Brian Michael Bendis run, or no, what was it? Albert Lanning run.
Yeah.
Costumes, which is pretty badass. It's odd because I feel like even when you're watching the trailer, there's times where I feel like they've already shown the ending, and they usually do that
Where it's like
sometimes. And
Quill crying and screaming, that one?
well, there's like that, and then there's like a part where they're all just like walking, and it's Gamora is like holding Quill
Quill,
in his
yeah.
arms, and it's like all of them. And obviously, like they've said this, they've done that in the past with like Avengers Endgame or Infinity War. They changed it, but supposedly they no longer can do that for some reason. I think that was like a lawsuit that got started.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like tough, like obviously, but then there's also people that have said like that Drax dies and he's still there. So like you don't know where that scene comes from, but there's everybody's there.
Right.
Cosmos is in there. All the Guardians from Guardians 1, Guardians 2, like Mantis. Groot obviously changed. He's like more buff, right? He
He
looks
was like all
different.
armored out, kind of. Yeah.
I
Looks like
think
he's tanking for the group, man.
yeah, he looks definitely different than he did in like the first one. Obviously, he's grown up a little bit, but yeah, I liked it. I definitely think, like you said, it leans more heavier on the comedy side than the last one, but it's
You were
it's gonna be
right.
interesting.
I didn't really think about it until you just said it right now. We actually got more about Gamora. Like, of course, we don't know the full story yet, but it was kind of narrated by Quill, and so we got a little bit more about the fact that hey, look, this is the alternate Gamora. Um, it just honestly, I'm a little worried about it because the more I think about it is because obviously it's the last Guardians from James Gunn. We know it's the last Drax movie. We don't know if there will be another Guardians after this. No one's said anything. No one's really confirmed anything moving forward with the Guardians characters. And it seems like a lot to throw in one movie, right? Because the Gamora question mark is huge. It's
Mhm.
just a massive leftover from Endgame, and then now we've got Adam Warlock being thrown into the mix. We're going to get a lot more origin of Rocket. I guarantee Drax is going to get a decent amount of time since it's confirmed it's his last movie. And then you're
Mhm.
throwing in High Evolutionary, right? So, like, I'm a little worried that there might be too many things going on in this movie, and not everything's going to get its due time, so to speak.
Yeah, like obviously a lot of the Guardians are not going to be coming back. Like is Warlock kind of like a one and done, or like does this set
Right.
him up for his own movie, which is fine. High Evolutionary, like we've spoken in the past, like would be great to have him stay around and kind of be like like an underling to Kang, because knowing how Kang's going to be in the part of this phase, like the next phase and a half, I guess. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Marvel's really got to do something about this one and done villain shit. Like, they need to kind of keep him around. Of course, we've had like the Collector. I mean, yeah, he's kind of been a villain. I don't really know if you can
Mhm.
even call him a villain, and he's been here and there. Um, but we need to like keep some of these villains. They don't have to be killed each time. You can defeat a guy and he can come back later. And I think it's just something more to that. I don't know. I really hope they do something with. And the High Evolutionary is such a great character that you can do things with, and has such a rich history with both the Avengers and the X-Men, Guardians. I mean, you could have Fantastic Four. He's a character that very much can be in any genre. He could
Yeah,
kind
he
of
doesn't
fit.
have to sit in just the Guardians universe.
Right.
You're right. Like,
Right.
yeah, when Fantastic Four comes around, or if Avengers goes to space, like with Sword,
Mhm.
there's a lot of things that you could keep him in. Similar to like how they did Ronan. Like, it sucks that like Ronan is such a great, he was introduced in Fantastic Four, like the comic books, and like yeah, we got to see him in Guardians, but like then you brought him back for like Captain Marvel for like two
Right.
scenes, right? Like he was a character that could have been around for a while.
And it wasn't even like the real Ronin type character we got in the comics. You know what I mean? Even the Guardians version.
Hmm.
So And Marvel's got a villain problem. We've said it a lot, and they got to try to figure that out because I think eventually you're going to run out of villains, right? And like ones that are interesting. So I just don't know what you're going to do with that. So, and
Yeah.
we can't just keep making Civil War movies where the heroes fight the heroes, right? So,
They're
yeah,
gonna just
dude.
scale it back. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Kevin Feige recently just said, I read it, that they're scaling back on the TV shows and the movies, even though they've like plotted this whole out for like all of Phase 5. But it's the truth. They
Yeah.
need to they need to really maybe keep it to like 2 shows and 2 movies a year, not like 3 or 4 shows and
Right.
3 movies a year. It's just too much. Like it's too much on the storytelling. It's too much on the studio, and things get pushed aside, and you can see like the CGI has changed, and
Yeah.
we all know how Phase 4 was. So
Yeah. And, not to, obviously we'll be dropping a Ant-Man Quantumania review once we see it next week, but it's not getting great reviews right now. Are you seeing this? Like
yeah,
I
like
mean,
55-60%. It's pretty bad.
which, man, really is a bummer because I honestly had pretty high hopes for this movie, and I'm still obviously going to go into it with an open mind. But we really needed Marvel really needed this movie to hit off Phase 5, and the fact that it's kind of like the real introduction of Kang. I'm hoping at least Kang's the best part of the movie. I mean, if the movie does suck, I'm hoping it doesn't have to do with Kang.
Mm,
Because
yeah.
he's supposed to kind of carry us through.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Only due
So,
time. Only one more day for us. And then we'll
man,
go see
one more day. What time are you going to see tomorrow?
3
3.
early.
Even sickies?
Maybe canceling it. And then
You gonna wear a
Friday.
mask?
Yeah, there you go. Buy like
Yeah.
10 seats around.
Yeah, right. Spray all around you.
Yeah, exactly. Just have a sign. Stay away.
So yeah, it's the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. We talked about it came out during Super Bowl, and now we're gonna get into the big one, the one that everyone's talking about, the one that no one can get away from, and the one that honestly I didn't think we were ever gonna get to, which is the Flash. Oh man. So we kind of talked about this, and I don't know, man. I have so much mixed feelings about this, but you go ahead, kick us off with the Flash.
Dude,
What do you think?
well, I mean, being the DC guy, like this is when I watched it, and I keep watching it. I've watched it at least 30 to 40 times.
Mhm.
I literally went and watched Flashpoint, the DC animated movie. It's amazing. It's literally it is Flashpoint basically. Like you have the Flash. We knew that he was going to be somehow put into a world where there was other Barry Allens from the previous trailer. We knew that Batman was coming back. We knew that there was going to be Supergirl. We didn't know how it was going to be. I don't think we knew that Zod was coming. I think the only reason I knew Zod was coming back
It
was
got revealed
because,
Zod and Feora were both going to be in it. Michael Shannon and the actor.
well, yeah, I guess I didn't know that until I saw the Funko Pops for
Okay.
the leaked Funko Pops. But yeah, this movie looks absolutely amazing. Again, pretty much taking it out of Flashpoint, where Barry Allen goes back into a world where his mom's still alive, and then obviously it's a little bit older where there is, so instead of in like Flashpoint, it's just him. There was only one Barry Allen, but he goes back into another world, into a time where there's 2 Barry Allens. It's him and himself that didn't get hit by the electricity, and obviously his mom's alive, and obviously I'm pretty sure we'll find out his dad's still there as well. But basically changes everything, right? It changes to the point where there's no Kal-El, like he doesn't come down. It's Kara, which is awesome. Something that we've seen in Flashpoint where she's a prisoner, but in Flashpoint it's him. It just so much goodness. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I mean, if you could take away the Ezra Miller aspect of it, I would be floored for this movie. And I'm excited for it. I do want to see it. Obviously, all the drama with Ezra Miller, I can't believe it. This movie is being made or going forward. But I'm also, I think you and I talked about this like offline, that I'm also just kind of, there's so many questions with this movie, right? I mean, James Gunn already kind of came out and said this one's kind of resetting the universe, right? Which just makes sense. James Gunn wants to start as fresh as possible. Who better than the Flash to do that for you? And like you said, Flashpoint kind of reset the DC universe anyway at one point. So it makes sense, but there's so many questions, like even timeframes of the next movies coming out, right? So we still have Aquaman 2 coming out post Flash, as well as Blue Beetle, which Blue Beetle easily could be James Gunn's universe because we've had no iteration or no mention of him at all. Aquaman's the big question mark that, like, where's he going to fall? How is he going to fall? How's that story going to play out post Flash? And then also we have we've already had James Gunn come out and say it will be a new Batman. So in this movie, we get obviously Michael Keaton from the original. We're getting Ben Affleck coming back, but we've already been told by James Gunn all new Batman for this universe. So whoever's playing Brave and the Bold Batman, neither one of those dudes.
Mhm.
So you're resetting the universe, but you're not resetting all the universe. Yeah, it's just there's so many questions about how this is going to play out, like and how we'll move forward after.
Yeah, I just love all the memes that are like, you finally come out with a Flash movie and everyone's talking about the two Batmans and like that's literally what it is. I mean, you've
Right.
waited, people from like the 80s like us, we grew up, we saw Michael Keaton Batman, him and Batman Returns, and now you're getting like him back again in the suit and he says he says the classic line and
Mhm.
but even again, like if you've never read Flashpoint, like just to prepare yourself, like it's such a great storyline. Like go out and buy the trade. Um, it's crazy. It's going to be an absolute amazing movie, I think. And yeah, whatever it does, if it resets the universe and somehow affects Aquaman, it does. If it, doesn't, and then they go from having, I guess, Ocean Master and Black Manta still in there. Like, I don't
And
know.
we talked about this as well as kind of like who's the villain here? Is there a villain or is it just Barry is kind of the villain, right? Because I mean,
Mhm.
I think but one of the Batman says it at one point, like, hey man, you might destroy the universe here, or you've destroyed the universe here, like whatever you
Mhm.
did. Obviously Zod's not going to be a good guy, but he's not going to be the main baddie.
Yeah, of
But
course.
the big question, of course, also is, you know, reverse Flash with Flashpoint being such. Anytime Barry goes back to prevent the death of his mother, you're talking reverse Flash, right? So him not being there, will he be there? Will it be a version of Barry? You mentioned that there's some leakage of Dark Flash type character. Will it be a bad version of Barry?
Mm.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
we don't
man.
know.
How are we getting rid of Ezra Miller? That's the biggest question mark. How are we getting rid of him? You can't be taking Ezra Miller forward in the DCU, bro.
He comes out of the Flashpoint, and it's Wally West.
Sane. He
No,
comes
it's Wally West.
he comes out and he's sane again and he hasn't like lost his mind.
Yeah, June's gonna be wild when this movie comes out.
So that comes out in June. When did Guardians? We didn't say when that comes out.
March, May, something like that.
I don't
think
think
it is.
March. I think you're right in May. I think May's
May
right.
5th.
Because March is Shazam.
Yeah, May 5th. That's just crazy because that's
May
Star
5th.
Wars Day.
Oh,
Or no, May the
well,
4th. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Day after.
So cool stuff. Well,
Yeah.
those are some good trailers. Definitely, if you didn't get to watch them during the Super Bowl, make sure you check them out. Like I said, we're going to keep this pretty short episode, so we're going to go ahead and move into what we are currently pre-ordering. Justin, you want to take it away here?
Yeah. So for this week, again, you could pre-order these titles that are currently out coming in April. So for my title this week is a series called Seasons Have Teeth. Out from Boom Studios. Writer is Dan Waters. Artist is Sebastian Krubel. So the synopsis is: in a drab, colorless world, the seasons bring change and also destruction. Andrew is a retired, conflicted photographer, lives a life steeped in regret after an unthinkable tragedy, but everything shifts when the seasons arrive. Each one has its own personalized, godlike creature. As he risks everything to track down summer, spring, autumn, and fall, and winter, will be capturing the perfect picture of each will be enough to find him redemption and ultimately bring color back to this world. Of course, Dan Weathers is the writer on Sword of Azrael and Homesick Pilots, and Sebastian has done some stuff over at Boom as well. So this is actually coming out in April, on April the 12th. Does have a couple of, covers, but interesting stuff. Like seasons, kind of like hunting down like godlike creatures, like for the different seasons is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm interested in this for Seasons Have Teeth #1.
Oh, that sounds interesting. You said Boom Studios?
Yeah, Boom Studios.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so the
Yeah.
one I picked is I've got Junk Rabbit #1. So Junk Rabbit comes from Image Comics. It's it's the weirdest synopsis here. A new hero rises from the mountains of consumer waste, mass homelessness, and devastating climate change. Some call the hero a myth, an urban legend, but others know that it's the Junk Rabbit come to life. Jimmy Robinson brings a new take to the dystopian tale of how climate disaster alters not only our world, but also the heroes that literally rise from it. Swamp Thing meets RoboCop.
Hmm.
So
All right.
This isn't these aren't necessarily themes that really interest me typically, but I was kind of sold when it said Swamp Thing meets RoboCop. And you can't see the cover, but it's a dude who looks like he's in a robot rabbit costume and he's in garbage. I don't know. So this is from Image Comics. The writer, artist, and cover artist is Jimmy Robinson. Expected out is April 5th. You can pre-order it now. Low cover price here too, $1.99 if you get it from DCBS. Regular price $3.99. So if you're ordering from DCBS, you can get a really, really good discount on this one. But
nice. Is yours like an
mature rating
ongoing?
as
I know
well.
mine is only at 4 issues, which is nice because obviously it's per the seasons, which is great.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 seasons each issue, and that's it. So
This doesn't say. I'm assuming it's relatively ongoing because it doesn't have, usually it'll tell you one of 6 or whatnot, but no, not
Mhm.
here. We'll see how it goes if it's continuously ongoing or not.
of course.
But cool. So check those out. A couple books for you guys to keep your eyes out for in the pre-orders right now. But yeah, so let's go ahead and round this out. I know we're keeping it real short this week, but
Super short because I haven't even. I'm again due to COVID, can't leave, can't go places, so I can't go pick up books.
damn, because you couldn't read anything.
No, I couldn't, man. Just couldn't. It's tough.
God damn, dude, I'm fucking carrying this shit.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay.
This guy Jeff Mazza is now calling me while we're recording. I should pick up the phone. We should take a phone call.
No, don't
All
answer. Don't answer that guy. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know, man. What was good this week?
We had a lot of Sins of Sinister stuff, right? Didn't that drop?
Yeah, this week we had the Nightcrawler. So I mean, I don't know if that's going to be my pick of the week, but I'll talk about it. Talk about my X-Men stuff here. Well, no, first, dude, let's go hot garbage. So,
Oh boy.
dude, this Hulk run has got to end. It's got to end. It is just not good. And it's obviously, Otley and Donny Cates are like feet out the door as well. Like you can just tell, I feel like that this is just not put together well. They got to wrap this up, move on, and start something new with the Hulk because this run is not cutting it. I can't even imagine being a like massive Hulk fan. Like if that was your favorite character, you know what I mean? Like I would be pretty pissed off. Like it's just not enjoyable. So that is my hot garbage of the week. I will say honorable mention. I've talked about this title a lot, and is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They've got an ongoing like kind of crossover called Armageddon game. And I'm not talking not specifically one title, but all of it right now is really, really cool. So you have Rat King is kind of like pushing things as the main bad guy here. He's recruited Baxter Stockman, a couple other villains, Krang, and a couple other who you may not know if you only are familiar with like classic Turtles type stuff. But it's just this big game that they're kind of doing, and they've split up. All the Turtles are kind of split up for different missions and trying to like rally the troops. Leonardo and Shredder are in Dimension X trying to recruit people. Raphael's got his own mission with Old Hob. Donatello's doing his own thing. Michelangelo's doing his own thing. Everyone's kind of split up on all these different missions, and it's really, really cool. And then they also have little side titles like Alliance, which deals with some of the like outside characters. We got Venus de Milo's showing back up here. Karai and what she's up to as well. So the Armageddon game stuff with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a badass storyline so far. And I'm not even sure when it ends. Let's see. Gosh, I don't think for a while, man. Because I think we're only on, let's see, roughly around May, beginning of May, will the last issue of Armageddon game. So if you're looking for the titles, there's obviously the ongoing TMNT. There's the 1 through 8 miniseries Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Armageddon game, and then there's another miniseries called the Armageddon Game Alliance, which deals with like Karai and her crew. So really good stuff. It's a fun read. Yeah, and then I guess the Nightcrawlers. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all the Sins of Sinister stuff it's different because it's obviously in the future, right? And we know it's not going to stick. So anytime
like the 29 or what was it, like Age of Apocalypse, right? That's basically like what you could say it as.
Yeah, definitely. But this is even less so. So like there's 3 issues. I think I talked about this. Like Nightcrawlers will have 3 issues. Every title, Storm and the Brotherhood of Mutants will have 3 issues. We'll have it's all like the first issue is 10 years. The next issue, I think, is like 50 years. And then the last one will be like 100 years post, like when Sinister took over type situation. So I feel like it has even less lasting repercussions in a way. Because you know that's, and then there's also the ongoing titles are still going, like X-Men and the Marauders are still going on, and like so we know we're going to come back to the status quo at some point, but it's cool. It's a lot of the chimeras, but the Nightcrawlers deals with like basically Sinister makes all these chimeras, a mixture of all different mutants with Nightcrawler's kind of blood being the one thing that ties them together so they can all teleport. So yeah, like, is it cool to see a Wolverine Nightcrawler mix or a Colossus Nightcrawler? Yeah, but like, do I need it? No. Like it's kind of like fan service in a way.
Yeah, it goes back to like, why don't you just create new characters instead of
dude,
combining them with like a mystique? Like,
yeah, and it's, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. I love the Sinister stuff. And there is an overarching storyline tied into all of this, so it is very interesting. The other title X-Men wise that I thought was really good, if you're not reading Wolverine's run right now, like Beast is a piece of shit, dude. And like he is like bad. He literally killed Wolverine and brought him back as like a mindless zombie kind of to like use as a weapon, and Wolverine just like kind of got back to his old self and is like hunting down Beast in this issue. It's some really cool stuff. Like Beast is kind of broken bad over this whole Krakoa age of the X-Men. So it's interesting. But
okay.
I'm trying to think, dude, what else? The Star Wars stuff. What are your thoughts on Star Wars, this merger they've kind of been doing with obviously the old High Republic, like Luke and them being in the null zone, or the oh god, what's it called? Where the Nile we're at?
Yeah, I guess it's the easiest thing for people to really get into the High Republic, because I'm sure there's people that are just, they only want like the classic stuff. So
Yeah.
that is interesting. I will say that like Bounty Hunters has actually been coming around a lot lately better. I know this week they finally introduced like Inferno Squadron, which was part of the Battlefront 2 video game. So really cool to see them in there. But it always, for me, like Bounty Hunters has always had great art, and that's the only thing that's really stuck with me for that. Is like, it's really cool seeing all the different bounty hunters, and the way like I think it's Paolo Villanelli does the art, and it's just so awesome to see. But this issue I know was supposed to be like the final showdown between Valance and Darth Vader, because that's like kind of what the cover is, and that's what they've been leading towards. So we're gonna see where that goes. But yeah, I mean, luckily the bounty hunters, I've still been sticking with it. Maybe whenever it ends, I'll probably sell the full run. That's something I'll keep, but it's definitely had its ups and downs for sure.
Yeah, Bounty Hunters, it's decent. I like it better than Afra. But I just feel like the Star Wars ongoing, I don't know, just kind of feels like it's puddling along. Like I said, I really can't imagine this Star Wars like volume to go the full 75 issues that volume 1 went, or like this Marvel
they need
stuff.
to like figure out what they're doing. Like
they need to end
that's what it was. Even like the first series was only good, like the first like 30 to maybe 40 issues was good, and then I tapped out and I sold the rest, and towards the second half, I guess, of the run was just like not good.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was not good at all. Like
I don't know how they can go another, let's say it's 70 issues, right? 75 was the first one. Like I don't know how you go another 40 issues of this. Like, oh, we gotta get Han. I mean, like, no shit, dude. Do it. Like, I mean, all that we're waiting on right now is Hidden Empire to end, and then Luke's got to get a green lightsaber, and then we're ready.
He's got to go back to
Dagobah.
No, Tatooine.
Yeah,
that's like how it would start for like Jedi. Like
right, yeah. And then we're good to go, man. Pick up fucking Han and let's move into post Return of the Jedi. Like that's the shit I want to see. I want to see post Return of the Jedi stuff. So anyway, so that's what we got or unless you had anything. You said you hadn't read anything.
That's it, man. That's all I got. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to get out there and read. I just know that I am kind of excited to read Bounty Hunters this week when I can read it, and then the DC stuff. I know there's some decent DC stuff that came out this week as well. So
yeah, I think Eve Volume 2 ends today, which of course my shop didn't have. The last issue, and then I think The Dead Lucky as well. Either it's the end of the first. I'm not sure if it's the end of the first arc or if it's actually the end of the title.
Mhm.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
there's some good stuff I know for this week. I wanted to run. I think it was the final issue of Batman Beyond the White Knight that ended. I know Batgirls was new this week.
Yeah.
Another Lazarus Planet one shot I wanted to check out. So
Yeah.
definitely a lot of DC stuff. I just, like I said, just can't get to the shops. So I'll probably be talking about them next week.
Cool. So, like I said, guys, short episode. That's all we got. We will be dropping a Ant-Man Quantumania review, but probably won't be dropping it till Monday, Tuesday-ish, something like that.
Mhm.
So, give you guys time to watch it in the theaters and check it out. So, but when we do drop it, make sure you tune in and get a listen to that. So,
All spoilers.
all spoilers. Yeah. Justin, any last words?
Of course, ending the show like I always do. Make sure you check out the King Kong show upcoming March 25th, March 26th in Island, New Jersey. I obviously will be a vendor there with all the other comic community people. So that's at the APA Hotel at 120 South Wood Ave in Island, New Jersey. King Kong show. Check them out on Instagram and also their website.
Cool. Okay, everybody, stay safe, and we will catch you later.